Hello everyone, AJ Gamer here once again. Today I am back with another YouTube video. I apologize for not making a video in a while. It was mainly because I was rearranging my room. I've been rearranging my posters, added my new TV, got my new TV set up. My parents are going out. My birthday is just around the corner. I'm about to, once I get Nintendo Switch for Christmas, I'm going to rearrange all my consoles. And also, I'm going out a lot to places like Sobeys, Walmart. And I'm also going to high school a lot more often. I'm doing really good in high school so far. So, without further ado, I am back. And I told you in the last video that I make free news info videos about gaming this year. And the first one is going to be my response to the death of Miiverse. So basically, around earlier this year, Nintendo has officially announced that Miiverse is going to be dying on November 7th, 10 p.m. 2017, respectively, where Miiverse will be almost completely unavailable on almost all platforms: Wii U, 3DS, mobile devices, and PC. And sadly, there's going to be a lot of games that are going to be very effectively affected by the death of Miiverse. Like, for example, with Super Smash Bros., you can't upload replays to YouTube anymore. You're going to have to use a capture card in order to do that. And if you go in the Miiverse stage, a majority of the Miiverse posts will not be there. So, Miiverse is almost like a clone of Battlefield in some way. And there's going to be a few other Wii U games that are going to be affected by it, like Super Mario Maker. You can't comment on people's levels anymore. You can still upload them and give them a star, but the only way you can comment on Mario Maker levels is that if someone uploads it to social media, like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, you can't really do anything about it. And so, like, you can't really comment through Miiverse anymore. And there's gonna be a hell of a lot more Wii U games that are gonna be very heavily affected by this. And it's gonna be a real shame, in my opinion. Before I talk about my response, I'm also quickly tell you what Miiverse is. Miiverse is basically Nintendo's answer to social media, like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and maybe even Instagram. It's kind of like a G-rated version of Twitter, where you can basically interact with your friends. The entire Miiverse community is nothing but gaming. You can basically interact with your friends, make new friends, comment on people's posts, do your own post, and give someone's post a yeah if you want to. Follow somebody, do a profile image, do your Me avatar. Some really cool drawings with the Wii U gamepad, which I think arguably is one of the best parts of Miiverse. Do some really cool drawings on whether it be through Miiverse or probably just use another game and also taking screenshots of your favorite games. You just make new discussions, look for people, look for specific communities, like rate your favorite communities, what's your favorite community on Miiverse, like do your difficulty level, talk to people, get followers, and among many other things you can possibly do on Miiverse. I only scratched the surface mostly. It's like, you know, many typical stuff like that. It launched in November 2012 along with the launch of the Wii U, and then later on was on 3DS, then was on PC, and then on mobile devices. And it was pretty much what you expect. You can, like, comment on, you could do your own posts of specific games and communities, comment on them, give them yes, follow somebody, be friends with someone. And there was also along Wii U chat. When you have a friend on Miiverse, you can do a live chat with them through there. And like I said before, there's going to be a lot of Wii U games that are going to be heavily affected by this. I will admit, I'm a little bit late on this subject because it just died a few weeks ago. But what the hell, I'm going to talk about this in the death of Miiverse anyways. So, yeah. Also, I very heavily apologize for the watermark on this video. I'm using a free version of Filmora, and I can only in the full version will this watermark disappear, so I'm very heavily sorry for that. But anyways, my response is, although I will admit, I have been expecting the death of Miiverse since day one, ever since Nintendo announced that Miiverse wasn't coming to the Switch. Ever since Nintendo announced that the Wii U was going to be in this production this year, well, after 2017, maybe possibly. Honestly, I wasn't really too surprised that Miiverse was going to die at some point. But the death of Miiverse is actually way worse than all of us expected to be. Like I just said, there's going to be a lot of games that are going to be affected by this, and there are a few other ones I didn't mention, like possibly with Mario 3D World, you can, in Mario Kart 8, you can unlock stamps and use them to post on Miiverse, but you can't really do that anymore since Miiverse is dead. And it also applies for other games like Bayonetta 2 and Bayonetta 1. And there's also New Super Mario Bros. U and Super Mario 3D World. We can see people's posts on the maps. Those are going to disappear once Miiverse dies. And there's going to be a lot of other games that are going to be affected by it. Every Wii U game, for the most part, is going to be affected by the death of Miiverse. Although, admittedly, some aren't as bad and others are as bad. It just depends on how way you look at it. So basically, that's how it's all going to go. And and the only thing that does kind of suck about the death of Miiverse is that it's a little too early. I was expecting the Miiverse to probably die around the end of this year or the beginning or the mid of 2018. So I do find it really sucky that Miiverse dies so really freaking early. And it really sucks because I loved Miiverse. Sure, Miiverse was a pretty flawed social media place from the fact you can only do 30 comments when you go on Miiverse, or that the fact that the admins would flag your post for really stupid stuff that you do on other social media, and among many other things. And of course, like typical social media, there's a lot of stupid kids, dumbasses, trolls, or just some guy who likes to act like a douchebag for attention, and some stuff like that. Just try to get clickbait. So, but other than that, I will admit, Miiverse was an incredibly awesome community. I actually made a lot of friends through Miiverse, and I had a lot of followers. And very quickly, on topic of followers, I had a total of 85 followers. That may not sound like a lot, but to me it is. And anyone who's watching, like Mad Gamer, Michael, TJ, Cameron, I thank you so much for joining with me on this before Miiverse died. But sadly, thanks to the death of Miiverse, we're just going back to friend code the days of the Wii again, which sucks because obviously, in my opinion, Miiverse was a really fun place. I had a lot of fun with Miiverse. I did a lot of really cool posts of the game. A lot of people liked them. And honestly, again, it's a real shame to see the game series go. I had too much fun. It can't end right now. At least not right now. It's too early. Come on, Nintendo. This is a really cool, new, innovative way you can interact with things for your consoles. So it's a real shame to, see the Miiverse community die. Especially, if there was a game on Wii U, and it's pretty much the same as every other version of the game on other consoles, at least Miiverse had something exclusive to that said game. Basically, it's a real shame to see Miiverse die. And what's even worse is Nintendo's responses were, in my opinion, pretty mediocre at best. So basically, I will admit, Nintendo had some good arguments to why they killed off Miiverse, but a majority of them were really stupid. Like the fact that, people are using Twitter and Facebook more, or the fact that maybe it's just that they were pretty much able to achieve that goal. Yeah, when you could have achieved it even more if you just kept it alive. The fact that Miiverse isn't on the Switch and there's no successor or replacement for it. And the closest you'll ever get to having Miiverse on the Switch is through the Miiverse-like option Splatoon 2 had. Very reminiscent of the Miiverse feature the original Splatoon had. And honestly, again, I had a lot of fun with Miiverse. Not to mention the Water Plaza is going to look a little different now. It actually just changed a few days ago. And there's going to be a lot of other Wii U games that are going to be affected by the death of Miiverse. So, and very quickly, I might as well go ahead and there's a video about the death of Miiverse. There's a guy I know on YouTube called ReviewTechUSA. He gives up a lot of news info videos. He did a response to the death of Miiverse, and his video was really good. He announced all the games that were going to be affected by Miiverse, and he gave his own thoughts, and I put the link in the description if you want to go see it yourselves. I'm going to use a couple of his arguments in the video. admittedly, Nintendo has always been focusing on new hardware, and it's almost ever since the SNES and N64 days of gaming. Something that I always hated about Nintendo. Even as a kid, I hated when they did that. Every time they got a new piece of hardware that makes it equally or almost equally as advanced as Microsoft and Sony's consoles because they have a bigger budget than they do, they almost instantly shut down their console. Almost immediately. I remember the Wii recently died a year after the launch of the Wii U. And guess how much Xbox 360 and PS3 went? They died last year. Literally, the PS3 and Xbox 360 just died out this year. I find this quite pathetic that Nintendo killed off the Wii a year after the Wii U launched, but yet their two rivals lasted 3 extra years longer. That's pathetic, if you ask me. And not to mention, again, admittedly, the Wii U is arguably the worst console of Nintendo, aside from the Virtual Boy. But I will admit, it was a really good console in my opinion. It had a lot of great games. It lasted about 5 or 6 years, which to me isn't too bad. And honestly, again, Miiverse was a really cool, innovative way to interact with Nintendo stuff. And come on, Nintendo, give Miiverse and the Wii U a break. Can you at least have the Wii U have Miiverse for about 1 or 2 more extra years? That's what you're gonna do with the Nintendo Wii Shop channel. So why couldn't it be the opposite? No offense. So basically, that's my brief response towards the death of Miiverse. I'm gonna be showing you a couple more. I'm gonna make some follow-up videos to this, and I'm gonna link a couple videos that completely describes my opinion on the death of Miiverse. But without further ado, this is my response to the death of Miiverse. It's a really sucky death. There are some highlights about the death of Miiverse, like the website is still there, so you can go on the Wayback Machine, so you can actually still use it before it's shut down. So it's not actually dead, but it is dead on all Nintendo platforms, basically. Even if you try to use it, it would still be dead. So, basically, that's my brief response to the death of Miiverse. Hope you enjoyed, and I will make some follow-up videos to this. And I will link some videos that completely describes my thoughts on the death of Miiverse. And they're all really good videos, by the way. I recommend you check them out. Without further ado, this is Angry Jane Gamer, and I'm signing out. See you later, everyone.